And then I went to this game store with my cousin. So he loves board games, mind you. Now these are like, and I'm talking real board games. Pillory Techie, congratulations on that heist. I'm talking real board games. I'm talking like Lords of Waterdeep, if you ever played that game. It's also a program you can get for your iPad and your phones and whatnot. So good game. And I'm talking like Outpost and a lot of games that I don't even know the names of. But he plays Gloomhaven. Oh yeah, dude. He's got Gloomhaven. He's got murder mystery games. He's got deck builder games. He's got every board game you could want. Worker placement, cooperative. He's probably got Scythe. I don't know. But he's, yeah, every game. He's a huge board game aficionado. Like, that is his hobby. He buys board games. He follows them on Kickstarter. He gets a huge discount going to the store that he goes to. He loves it, right? He loves everything about it. So if I ever want to know anything about a board game, that would be the guy that's the guy I talk to. His name's Dave. He's an amazing dude. He's a little OCD sometimes, but he's a cool guy. He's good. He's good with his family. He does good work at his jobs and stuff. You know, he's just a fun guy to hang around with. Also, a really big film aficionado. He's really big into his movies. He like movies and board games. That's like his thing. So, anyways, so we play board games, and we went to the store, and if we walked in through the back of this store, and I've been to some rough places. I've been to some rough places. Yes, Bugsy. Thank you for sticking your paw right into my armpit. Luckily, I'm wearing clothes. Oh, you got to close that up, Pillory. You put a space after the exclamation point, it won't great ball that Omanite for you. So we couldn't find a parking spot on the main road, so we go around to the back part of the parking lot. And at this point, I'm like, bruv, this place looks rough. I mean, have you ever been to a place where things seemed off? Because the architecture in this was the same as most like Midwestern towns. If you've been anywhere in the Midwest, then you'll know what I say when I mean like, you know those pictures of like 1940s America? Most small towns in the Midwest look like that. Like they have a core of buildings that are built like that, usually along one road and like maybe a crossroad. That's just how they look. At least where I'm at. Maybe it's different for other people, but here in the Midwest in Michigan, that's what they all look like. And so you have the main road and then you go about behind it. And it had really nice like trees, the landscaping was nice, the cars were nice, but the buildings and like the way that the buildings were placed made me feel like at any second I was going to get jumped. I felt oppressed. I was like, bro, are we allowed to be back here? Are we? Is that okay? Because this place looks like I don't see a single camera anywhere nearby. And this is a pretty nice looking town. Is this where they send the tourists to get mugged? What is going on? I didn't say any of that. I just looked around a lot. Around. Sure, you know. Got to keep on your perception game. You got to make sure you ain't getting caught. Surprise rounds end parties, everybody. Surprise rounds end parties. So I said to Dave, Dave, can we even get into the store from back here? And he's like, yeah, those doors are unlocked. So I look up at the doors that look like the back entrance to a dilapidated and abandoned Kmart. Think I can spot a telltale blue light in the distance that maybe had a little bit of electricity still in it and managed a quarter turn. And I look at Dave and I go, I trust you, Dave. And then we start walking. And you know what? We walk up. The door wasn't locked, but we go right in. The building was warm. They had a good selection. The people knew my cousin by name. And I was like, oh, okay, it just looks horrible on the outside behind the building where it looks like all the murders take place. Inside, it's actually quite nice. So we had a good experience. I picked up a gift for Piper, which was a little frog. It was a carved rock frog on a little carved like leaf. It was all carved from like one piece of rock. It was real shiny, and she likes frogs, so I got that for her because I'm a nice guy. It's what I like to do sometimes when I see something. And it really stood out too. It was really weird how it stood out because it wasn't in the bin with the other rocks. The Hidden VIP Board Game Lounge. Dude, it was so nice. They actually have 3 locations around this area, but it was actually really nice. It had a really good kind of touristy feel to it, number one, but it also had good board games, and yeah, so it was really cool. They had a really good gaming room in the back too, which had the requisite smell of Warhammer and BO, because if you go to a gaming store and the back room that you play games at doesn't smell like Warhammer and BO, it's not a real gaming store. Leave. These are con artists. They're trying to take your money and maybe your kidneys. Just go. If it smells like BO and Warhammer, you're good. Everybody there is on the level. They're not going to do anything except overcharge you for nachos and Red Bull. That's it. You got to know your game stores, people, all right? For anybody I know what you mean. Yeah, Pillory. Yes, Bond, what is it? Oh, am I being too loud? Well, tough shit. You decide to sleep there. So know your game stores, okay? The worst thing that's going to happen if you go into one of the... Look, I went into this game store once, and there was like 4 books on the shelves, an old Pepsi machine up against a wall, and one of those like 1967 nacho cheese fountains next to that pop machine. But you know what? I looked around, and I saw that there was a good mix of overweight neckbeards and skinny folk. I saw that there was a good mix of races there, and I saw that it smelled like Warhammer and BO, and I said, this is a good store. My friend was like, this is a store? I said, bro, I could talk to any one of these people here about anything gaming related, and they're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. And that guy behind the counter is going to talk to me any second about what he can offer me here at this store, and he's going to tell me about what game they're playing back there. And lo and behold, he's like, hey, welcome to the store, man. We just set up pretty soon. Our stock's coming in. Hey, we're playing a little bit of, we're playing just like a 300-point game of Warhammer over there if you're interested. I was like, vindication. So, yeah, that was a good time. It's important, though, that you have a good diverse mix. You got to have, like, at least one black guy and at least one Asian guy, because if you don't have those and it's like all white dudes, things can get weird sometimes. Like those are like, that's like a plus though. If you got like the black guy and the Asian guy both there in the game store, then you know it's a good game store. That's a quality game store. If you have girls there too that like razz the guys or are behind the counter, that usually makes an even better game store. And if you see the same girl at the same game store more than like 3 times over the course of like a year and she's still there, you know, it's a good game store. There's little ways you could tell. It's funny, but some of the best game stores though are like the one guy who owns it and has no employees and he sells comic books. And then in like a back corner is like a bunch of other game stuff. Those are the game stores I love to go to as well. Those ones are awesome. Game stores are a lot of fun in general.